Yo, ladies, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario. So listen, in this video, I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake that women make in dating. Okay, I see this all the time and I shake my head when I see it. You know, it's very interesting that this happens because women want a relationship really badly. Like a lot of women, they're like, man, I just want somebody to love me, to be there, all this other stuff. And it's great. And I just want a man to love me and all this other stuff. Right. And that's good. That's cool. I understand that. But I'm gonna tell you the biggest mistake that women make in dating. Right. And the biggest mistake is this, is when you actually have a good man, when you're actually dating a guy who's on point, when you actually have a good dude that you're seeing and, everything is going great, right? The biggest mistake is taking him for granted. Taking him for granted. See, what happens is this, is when you're first dating this guy, everything is cool. You got that new relationship energy. Everything is all, fun and exciting and all this other stuff, right? And this guy, he's a good dude. He's consistent. He's on point. He's doing what he does, right? And you like him. He likes you. Everything is great. But then what happens is that sometimes, because things are good, right? Things can sort of get complacent. Sometimes things cannot be as exciting as you expect in the situation sometimes. And then you start to fall back on doing things that you used to do, right? You're not being very attentive like you used to be. You understand? You probably would cook for him, right? And you're not cooking for him as much, right? You probably are still cooking, but you're not doing it as much. Or let's say you used to have sex with him basically every time you saw him, right? And now you only have sex with him maybe half the time you see him. You understand what I'm saying? You would send him text messages or something like that, telling him, hey, just thinking about you today. And then it stops, right? Now, you might be thinking, well, this sounds like stuff that some guys do sometimes too. Like I've been in situations where I was treating a guy well and everything was cool. And he stopped text messaging me and he stopped doing certain things. Exactly. And how did that make you feel? You were on point. You were with this guy. Everything was good. And then he just, he's not being as attentive as he used to be. He's falling back a little bit. You understand? He's gotten so comfortable in the situation and now he's taking you for granted. And you have to understand, ladies, you're doing the same thing when you have a good relationship. See, the problem is this, is that relationships take work to maintain. This is, so you have to make a conscious decision to keep things going and to keep things on point. You understand? Because once you start getting too comfortable, that's when you start taking them for granted. And understand, he notices this. Don't think he doesn't notice this. He notices this. Just like you notice it when a guy is doing that to you. You understand? And so what happens is that it's sort of easy to take the situation for granted because it's so easy to be in a relationship with a good dude. You understand? It's so easy. You don't have nothing to complain about to your girlfriends. Sometimes you try to find shit to complain about. Sometimes you might low key do little weird shit so that there could be some friction in the interaction, so you have something to complain about. You see what I'm saying? But when it's easy, then it's easy to get comfortable, which causes you to take the situation for granted. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that what you don't want to do is this. You don't want to take the situation for granted just because it's easy, right? You want to dive more into how good the relationship is, right? So showing more gratitude because of how good the relationship is. You understand? Send him that random text, say, hey, I was just thinking about you, and I was just thinking about how much I really care about you and how much of a blessing it has been for you to be in my life. You understand? If you send a guy who's a good dude that's fucking with you a text like that, come on. Come on. But are you doing that? Or were you doing that, and are you falling back from doing that? You see what I'm saying? Because just like when you first start dealing with a guy and he's sending you all these texts in the morning, hey, beautiful, and everything is all cool, and then all of a sudden those texts stop, it's not a good thing. Right? So you have to look at your treatment in the relationship of how you're treating that guy that way. Things should always be going up and progressing. You understand? Either they're going to be how it is and stay at that level and progress, but it should never go below the level it is. Meaning that if you are, let's say, for example, I'm gonna just use a simple example just to illustrate. If you're giving this guy head 3 times a week, right? Then continue to give him head 3 times a week. And if anything changes, it should be 4 times a week, not 2 times a week. Do you understand what I'm saying? It should be the same or progressing up. It should never be going below what you're doing. Because going below what you're doing is the start of you taking the situation for granted. Now, I'm just using that example just as to simplify it so you can understand what I'm saying. But that has to go all across the board. So how you're treating him, how you're coming at him, all that other stuff. If you're going below what you've been doing, that's you taking the shit situation for granted. And you're doing that because it's so easy. You're so comfortable. And because you're comfortable, you feel as if you don't need to put in the same amount of work that you were doing at the beginning. You understand? So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you ladies have any questions, click the link below and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.